What if I told you a man once convinced his followers that he could control natural disasters with a supernatural machine? And what if that man kept women imprisoned for over 30 years in the middle of London? This is the true story of Aravindan Balakrishnan, also known as Comrade Bala, a cult leader who operated out of a quiet Brixton flat, and for decades no one had any idea what was really happening inside. Aravindan Balakrishnan arrived in the UK from Singapore in the 1960s. He was deeply immersed in far-left Marxist ideology and soon formed a radical group called the Workers' Institute of Marxism, Leninism, Mao Zedong thought. It started as a political commune, but over time it shifted. It became less about revolution and more about total control. His followers believed in him completely. He was their teacher, their prophet, their dictator. And as the years passed, their world shrank to just one small flat in Brixton, South London. Inside the commune, Balakrishnan claimed to be guided by a mysterious supernatural force called Jaggi, a machine that he said could punish his enemies, control global events, and even kill those who disobeyed him. To the outside world, this sounded bizarre, but to his followers, it was terrifyingly real. The flat at 60 Shakespeare Road became a sealed environment. Followers gave up jobs, contact with families, and any sense of individual thought. Balakrishnan used psychological control, fear, and isolation to break them down, and when one member gave birth inside the cult, her daughter would never experience life beyond those walls for decades. Conditions inside the commune were disturbing. Windows were covered, movements monitored. Balakrishnan claimed that the outside world was evil and that only he could keep them safe. He regularly beat his followers, enforced strict obedience, and used both physical and emotional abuse to keep control. His daughter, born in 1983, was raised entirely in captivity. She was told that the government wanted to kill her. She never went to school, never had friends, and never saw a doctor. In the early 2000s, things began to change. Despite being isolated, the cult's members started seeing cracks in Balakrishnan's ideology. The internet and outside media gave glimpses of the real world. Over time, 3 women found the courage to contact a charity called the Freedom Charity. In 2013, after 30 years in captivity, they escaped. The police raided the flat and discovered what they had been hiding for decades. Officers described the living conditions as shocking, cramped, controlled, and haunted by fear. In 2016, Aravindan Balakrishnan stood trial at South Wark Crown Court. He was charged with child cruelty, sexual assault, and false imprisonment. The testimonies from his daughter and former followers painted a picture of systematic abuse. The court heard how he claimed to be a godlike figure and manipulated them through fear and superstition. He was found guilty on multiple counts and sentenced to 23 years in prison. He never showed remorse. In interviews, he continued to refer to himself as a political prisoner and genius. After the trial, his daughter began her life outside for the first time at age 30. She described the confusion and wonder of seeing the world beyond the flat. Technology, society, even something as simple as a bus ride was overwhelming. Today, the survivors are rebuilding. Some have changed their names, others have shared their story to help others spot cult behaviour. The Freedom Charity, which helped them escape, continues to rescue victims of modern-day slavery and psychological control. This story is an ancient history. It happened in a modern city, surrounded by people who had no idea what was going on next door. It teaches us that cults don't always look like remote compounds. Sometimes they hide in plain sight, behind closed doors, in the middle of a neighbourhood. Psychological control, isolation, and fear are powerful tools, but so is awareness. And today, more people know the signs because of the bravery of just a few a decades-long nightmare came to an end. If this story moved you, consider supporting organisations like Freedom Charity that help free people from modern-day slavery. And if you would like to see more real-life stories of control, deception and escape, subscribe to my channel. New true crime videos every week. Real stories, real crime. Stay curious, stay safe.